Retails are in the midst of a reckoning with self-checkout in their stores. And while it is true that some have decided to completely abandon the technology altogether, others do feel that forcing their customers to provide free labor is in fact worth it. So let's get into the details. So in 2021, self-checkout usage represented 30% of transactions, and that's almost double from 2018. That's according to a survey of retailers by FMI, an industry group. And 96% of retailers surveyed offer self-checkout. Now, this has had an impact on jobs, of course, because that's the whole point of having self-checkout implemented in these stores. These companies want to save on labor. And so a lot of people who worked as cashiers either lost their jobs, less job openings for these types of positions. In fact, according to Labor Department data, there are about 1.2 million people currently working as cashiers compared to 1.4 million in 2019. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics expects the number to fall by another 10% over the next decade. That is, again, totally unsurprising given what the whole purpose of self-checkout is. Cut labor and have your customers engage in free labor on behalf of your company. That is what this is. Now, not everyone has been in favor of this. Some companies have noticed that they're actually losing money to some extent because people are taking advantage of self-checkout to steal. Some are doing it accidentally, but then there are other issues at play as well. Now, British supermarket chain Booths, for instance, has been getting rid of its self-checkout at the majority of its stores for the past 18 months in reaction to customer backlash. Customers are like, why am I doing this work for you guys? This is ridiculous. In fact, Cindy Whittington, who is a 66-year-old, said this in an interview with AP News. Going to the grocery store used to be simple, and now it's frustrating. You're paying more, you're working harder to pay for merchandise at their store, and it's become an ordeal to check out. I should get a 5% discount. You won't, Cindy, you won't. But I agree with everything she said there.
100%. So this is a scourge of my life. I hate it, I can't stand it. And I can't stand it on two grounds. Number one, this is not my job. So I don't know how much the organic banana costs as opposed to the regular banana.
You have to look it up, Jay.
Yeah, and they're like, what? You just press this, and this button. Oh, you pressed it in the wrong order. You have to watch this again, this. Why am I getting on the job training on how to check out groceries? Well, that's not my job, okay? And I'm a spaz at that stuff. And some people are great at stuff like that and some people aren't. And so you force all of us to do that extra stress when we go to the grocery store. And look, the default, when it first started, it was like, the default was you go to check out with a person, in the regular cash registers, right? But hey, you had an option if you were in a hurry. There was a one in the corner there and you go beep, 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 or a couple in the corner, that's fine. Now, they only have one person working the cash register at a giant grocery store.
That's
and
true.
they force everyone to the monitors and the terminals instead. And then you've got people now you got a huge line at the terminal. And yes, you have 66-year-old Cindy going, and then you got me going, and now everybody's frustrated and there's a giant line. And then the one person that's running the cash register, there's an enormous line there. No, it's awful, man, it's awful.
It is, look, it's funny because I love to complain about self-checkout, but I almost exclusively use self-checkout, okay?
That is ironic, yeah.
And it's because of the principle of it. I can't stand the fact that customers are providing free labor for the companies. I can't stand that this is leading to less jobs. But I also really enjoy not having to talk to anybody.
Yeah, well, see, I'm the opposite there too.
He is the opposite, that's for sure.
So yeah. I'm not going to the cash registers to just talk to the people. Have I picked up women at cash registers? Maybe I have when I was younger, okay? Is it because I'm very charming? I could be, I don't know. But I don't want to divert too much about how charming I am.
Okay.
So, this is the kind of unbearable conversation you'll get if you're the unfortunate person running the
Women love it.
system.
I mean, he picks up women doing this. So.
Yeah, anyways, in all seriousness, I agree with Anna completely on the principle part of it. That's the second reason why I hate it. On principle, I hate that you're firing people and making the customers do their jobs. And guys, think about the numbers here. They already cut 200,000 jobs across the country because of this. And another 10% is another 120,000 people who are gonna get fired. Let's keep it real on this. And then on top of that, when you have less demand for those workers and a higher supply because you fired so many of them, that's gonna drive their salaries down. So it's lower wages and less work, less jobs, and you put the burden on your customers. It's a lose, lose, lose for everyone outside of the giant corporations that run the grocery stores. So that's why I hate it.
Yeah, and look, there are some stores that have decided we're losing a lot of product through theft because it is easy. Like, since I use self-checkout, I love to complain about it, but I love to use it as well. What I've noticed is, look, you could put in a different code for the bananas because obviously the organic bananas are gonna be more expensive, but you could just put in the code for the non-organic bananas, right? So stuff like that. But I think
By the
some
way, that
people,
would be the smallest theft in American history.
it would be, and I'm sure people are stealing, bigger items or whatever. And
I'm sure. I mean, when the first time I used it, I'm like, wait, what's gonna stop me from going from here to here?
Yeah.
There's one person over there trying to keep an eye on everyone. There's like now 28 different terminals, right?
Yeah, but also the technology oftentimes is faulty and it fails and it like does things that can be unjustified and embarrassing. So I'll give you an example. Like, you scan the item, you put it on the side. The side is like this weighted, contraption. And so if you don't immediately put the item in that area, it'll be like, please put item in bagging area, please put, and then like lights start blinking, and then like the Gestapo show up and they're like, you didn't pay for that. They don't actually do that, but it feels like it, right? It's too much, it's too much.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, there are downsides, but then there are upsides. There's no dirty conveyor belt, and you don't have to talk to anybody, so if things go smoothly. So I don't know.
It is going to eventually be what the nightmare thing that Anna just described, where we go to buy things from these corporations, whether they're grocery stores or anything else. They're like, follow the rules, you must do the work. And they come out and they start beating the crap out of you. And they're like, okay, 10 pounds more, and you're fired from your other job.
Those bananas are organic. You're paying for non-organic. Totally.
So, like, this is what corporate rule looks like, and it doesn't look pretty. And so I'm not saying, I never steal on principle, etc. And I'm not encouraging you to, but if there were a lot of mistakes and it cost them a lot of money, so they'd have to switch back to hiring human beings instead, well, that would be a shame, wouldn't it?
All right.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.